This is Channel 8 News at 4:30.
Now at 4:30, abuse of a minor. How officials were able to track down a York educator accused of having improper relations with a child. Plus, data center debate. The new push from President Trump to keep electricity bills affordable and what it means for Nebraska communities seeing a spike. And stopping the screwworm, the new innovative weapon researchers are developing to curb the growth of a flesh-eating parasite affecting livestock all across the country. But first, new tonight, a former staff member at a school in York County arrested for alleged sexual offenses involving a child. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Emma Norwood. Authorities say the suspect, a 33-year-old former educator, was having an inappropriate relationship with a minor. This is the man on your screen accused here, Nathaniel Acton. According to the York County Sheriff's Office, they were contacted by a concerned individual reporting the alleged relationship on Sunday. Officials immediately began working with Brave Bee Child Advocacy Center and DHHS to gather more information. Deputies arresting him and searching his home on Tuesday. They say they found material connecting him to child sexual abuse. The Sheriff's Office not revealing which school Acton was affiliated to or when exactly the alleged crime happened. Well, another gloomy day around Lincoln, but definitely a little bit cooler than what we were used to earlier this week. The cooler temperatures forcing a change of plans today in Crete. The city canceling aerobics and swimming lessons at Wildwood Pool. The pool staying closed all day, but they say it should reopen around 5 o'clock, which is just in the next half hour. Could we be warming back up soon, though? Let's check in with meteorologist Dominic Ferraro for a look at your first forecast. Dom?
Good afternoon, Emma. Yeah, we did sneak our way here to the upper 70s for the afternoon. So personally, maybe I'm not making the trip to the pool, but I'm sure some kids could have a good time out there. As we take a look outside, though, Emma mentioned it was kind of gloomy out there. That's still kind of the case here on your ABC Seamless camera as we take a look outside. Partly to mostly cloudy skies for southeast Nebraska. 78 here in Lincoln. Omaha has made its way to the 80s, and it's a little cooler than as you head out towards the west. The Tri-Cities right now in the lower 70s, and kind of just dodging in between chances for light showers in southeast Nebraska too. Mainly overcast skies, but a few lighter showers down closer to the Kansas-Nebraska line. Then as well as you head up towards the Nebraska-South Dakota border, as temperatures then going forward will stick around here into the upper 70s for just a bit longer, and then into the low 70s, ultimately on way to the 60s then for the start of your day here on Friday. We'll have a better look then at what it means to have, or we're talking chances then for warming up heading into the weekend, as well as another chance for rain tonight coming up here in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Dom. And let's take a look at some of the roads around Lincoln. This is 11th Street and Cornhusker Highway. Doesn't look busy at all out there. Traffic seems to be moving along. Of course, a little backup at the light, but nothing too crazy out there for you. Developing now, President Donald Trump announcing a new move to protect Americans from rising electricity costs.
New data centers go up, and they're going up all over. Electricity bills for American families will actually come down.
Trump says he is looking to stop data centers from driving up the cost of electricity for families. That involves an expansion of his ratepayer protection pledge for AI data centers to include governors and nearly 200 utility companies. The move coming at a time when data centers are emerging all over the country, including right here in Nebraska. Tonight at 5, we have team coverage to break down what this means for Nebraskans looking to keep rates low as more companies push to get those data centers up. The U.S. and Iran trading strikes once again, with Iran claiming to have struck U.S. military assets in Jordan and Kuwait. As ABC's Rena Roy brings us up to date with the latest.
CENTCOM releasing this video saying the U.S. struck Iranian military targets overnight. Human rights activists in Iran say there's been nearly 3,700 Iranian casualties since February.
We do it because we have to do it, because we cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon.
Meanwhile, Iranian-backed militants in Yemen taking aim at 2 Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea in an attempt to block international shipping, choking another key waterway that could have ripple effects for the world economy. President Trump Trump saying the U.S. will inflict, quote, major military punishment on Iran and the Houthis if the attacks continue. Iran also threatening tankers in the Strait of Hormuz.
They will pay a very heavy price for the things they're doing. They're already paying a very heavy price. They're probably not ready to do a deal yet, but they will be soon because the price they're paying is very high despite their tough talk.
Trump warning that for every Iranian strike on a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, the U.S. will bomb and destroy one bridge or power plant inside Iran. Deliberately targeting civilian infrastructure is a potential war crime under international law.
Global oil hit $100 a barrel after Trump's comments that he will inflict military punishment, and gas prices are once again being impacted. According to Gas Buddy, the national average for a gallon of regular is more than $4, up 16 cents from last week. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
New at 4:30, the University of Nebraska Medical Center getting some important recognition at a national level. Newsweek's list of America's best hospitals for specialized care, placing UNMC on a top spot in their new award listing. This award goes to the best hospitals in the U.S. across 7 different specialties. You can see those specialties laid out there on your screen. The Nebraska Medicine CEO says being ranked among the nation's best reflects their commitment to their colleagues and physicians that are providing extraordinary care. Also new this 4:30, former U.S. Senator Ben Sasse is sitting down with CNN to share his cancer journey and treatment. He was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer back in December. At that time, doctors gave him just a few months to live. But today, Sasse says advancements are being made to try to combat his type of cancer, and one specific treatment is showing promise. And that treatment is now being offered at the University of Nebraska Medical Center in Omaha. Coming up at 5, learn about their new acquisition coming as a game changer for those battling pancreatic cancer just like Sasse, and how it's affecting survival rates for patients. Well, right now, many Americans admit they've committed a specific illegal act, and most say they did not have much of a choice.
For Channel 8 News, I'm Andrew Ward. A survey suggesting shoplifting is becoming more common across the country. LendingTree finding 3 in 10 Americans admit they've shoplifted, up from 23% just 2 years ago. Of those who have stolen, more than half say they did it because they could not afford the items. That's what this pie chart is showing. 47% of responders say Walmart is one of the easiest stores to shoplift from. This graph highlights what is being stolen. You can see it's food and drinks at the top of the list. The survey also finding that younger adults are most likely to admit to shoplifting.
And a Wallet Hub study suggests Nebraska is one of the safer states for young people. The Cornhusker State ranks 43rd for the most at-risk youth, meaning it has one of the lowest risk levels in the country. The study looked at factors including poverty, education, employment, drug use, and homelessness. Louisiana ranked as the state with the most at-risk youth, while New Jersey had the fewest. And the number of Americans filing for unemployment benefits is now at the lowest level since 1969. The Labor Department says first-time jobless claims dropped to around 187,000 just last week. Economists say the figures suggest layoffs remain low, even as hiring has slowed. Continuing claims, which track people receiving benefits for more than a week, held roughly steady at just under 1.8 million. Well, today, Husker Nation is remembering a unique talent a decade after his sudden and tragic passing. Today marks exactly 10 years since Nebraska punter Sam Foltz died. He was killed in a car accident back in 2016 while returning from a kicking camp. Emotional tributes pouring in to remember his legacy. Former Nebraska State Senator and 2026 State Treasurer candidate Julie Slema sharing this post on social media, saying, quote, Sam never hesitated to talk with little kids across the state who looked up to him. And when we come back, we'll tell you about a murder plot plea in a disturbing case. What a judge decided today in the case of a TikTok star accused of hiring a hitman to kill her child's father. Who else is linked to the twisted plot? And coming up at 5, Coffee Conversation, how one local nonprofit is looking to help those going through a tough financial time. Stick with us. New at 4:30, an alleged murder for hire plot in court involving a TikTok influencer. Prosecutors say the plan targeted the social media star's former partner and child's father, who is a pop singer. The influencer appearing before a judge today about a potential plea. ABC's Jacqueline Lee takes us inside the case.
A popular TikTok influencer appearing in a Los Angeles courtroom today for an alleged murder for hire plot involving a pop singer who is the father of her child. Gabriela Gonzalez, along with her ex-boyfriend Kai Cordry, waiving their right to a speedy arraignment, requesting their arraignment and plea be pushed to September.
Do each of you waive the right to a speedy arraignment so that your arraignment may be continued to September 14, 2026?
Yes. The two, along with Gonzalez's father, are charged with multiple counts, including the attempted murder of Jack Avery, who Gonzalez shares a 7-year-old daughter with. Avery is also a former member of the boy band Why Don't We? Gonzalez's father, Francisco, was arrested in Florida and is expected to be extradited to Los Angeles. His attorney, President Court, joining the request for the arraignment to be pushed. Prosecutors allege this 2021 murder for hire plot stemmed from a years-long bitter child custody battle between Gabriela Gonzalez and Avery. According to court documents, Los Angeles prosecutors say Gonzalez partnered with Cordry and her father to surveil the pop star. They allegedly discussed hiring a hitman to make the killing look like a deadly car crash. Prosecutors also say they discussed Bitcoin payments. The attorneys representing the defendants saying there's too much discovery to go through in a short period of time to enter a plea today.
We do need additional time. This is a very old case in terms of when the allegations occurred. Moreover, Your Honor, is that I need to be able to see all the documents.
All three defendants are out on bond. The Gonzalez each posted their $2 million bond, and Cordry posted his $100,000 bond. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Developing now, researchers are finding more innovative ways to fight a flesh-eating livestock pest.
That is the sister. They call it secondary screwworm because they go and do some meiosis.
A group of researchers in Texas now in the lab creating genetically modified flies to curb the reproduction of the screwworm. The group working with the USA and testing it out by mounting a female New World screwworm and a male screwworm who is GMO and sterile. They say the mating resulted in no offspring being produced. They are looking to send the sterile flies out in nature as a birth control technique for the insects. Well, let's switch things over and get your full forecast at 4:30. Dom, how much longer are we going to enjoy the cool temperatures around here?
Well, Emma, probably not too much longer. I mean, we've got the rest of today. Tomorrow won't be too bad, but once we get into the weekend, those summertime temperatures will return then as scheduled here for this time of year. So get outside, enjoy a mild evening here in southeast Nebraska. We are looking at the chance then for a few showers, possibly a couple rumbles of thunder for the start of your day on Friday. Most of these will be fairly early in the morning, closer to sunrise, and will fizzle out as we head into the late morning, early afternoon hours. But after that, that's when we start to heat up. The humidity returns to the region as well. So best to enjoy those cooler outdoor plans while we can here tonight. Temperatures at the moment across the state range from the upper 60s in far north central Nebraska to the mid to upper 70s, a few 80s here in eastern Nebraska, and the mid 80s as well out towards the west. There's Scottsbluff at 85. But the main story here, eastern 2/3 of the state under fairly cloudy conditions with a few light showers along the Nebraska South Dakota border. A couple more of those working their way here into the Panhandle, but we've been fairly quiet outside of a sprinkle or two in southeast Nebraska. Going forward, I do expect those chances to increase for us here south of the interstate. As we mentioned here, very early on Friday morning. This is 3 o'clock in the morning where you start to see some of those showers and thunderstorms develop with a surge of mid-level air bringing in both some moisture and the energy needed to get a few storms started here through the overnight hours. That will continue here 6 o'clock as you see a little closer then to us here in the capital city. Beatrice likely going to see a few good showers for the start of the day as well. And then these will linger as we head through the late morning hours here, and then ultimately looking just at overcast skies as we close out things here for your Friday evening. So, you know, it's another chance that some rain will take the moisture, that's for sure. Localized flooding, a possibility there, and then we stay fairly cloudy as we head into the start of the weekend, but that's going to continue to warm up as we head towards Saturday afternoon, Sunday, and into Monday. For your Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. Your Friday forecast, upper 60s here at 8 o'clock, into the upper 70s there, and into the low 80s for your high temperature. I do think that cloud cover keeps us on the lower side, but then we really just take the guardrails off as we head into the weekend. Lots of sunshine out there. We'll drive then higher levels of humidity to a heat index here well above 100 degrees. In fact, we're likely looking at least 3 days of the heat index of the triple digits or warmer. So now's the time to just start drinking plenty of water, making sure we're ready to go then for some of those warmer temperatures heading our way. And it'll look like summer once we head towards the back half of the month here, too. Upper 80s to low 90s as we round out July and into early August.
All righty, thank you so much, Dom. We're going to take a live look at some of the roads around the capital city. This is a busy roundabout at 14th and Superior Streets. Definitely looks like people are on their way home as we get to the top of the hour. Oh, actually, from that angle, it's not too crazy. Who knows? We'll see. New tonight, health workers with the CDC will be knocking on doors in Norfolk starting today. The police division there says teams will be visiting some households in the area to conduct a health survey. They say if you're in one of the pre-selected households, then you should have received a letter explaining the survey. You can request to see official identification from the health workers before letting them into your home. More crews are set to arrive in the city next month for testing. And don't go anywhere. We have plenty more coming up after the break, including nurse need. How one university is hoping to meet the growing need for nurses across the country and spark more interest in men. And coming up all new at 5, a new place for kids. Hear about a hub for learning, creativity, and connection in Northeast Lincoln, opening its doors today. Right now, a growing push to get more men to pursue a career long dominated by women. There's a growing demand for nurses across the country, and men are missing out. But some nursing schools are trying to change that. Here's ABC's Hannah Battah.
You feel that, Earl?
Feel what?
That's a no. All right, now just apply the Dermabond.
On shows like The Pit and St. Dennis Medical, male nurses are front and center.
You know, I actually have a few scars, and they're kind of cool. It shows you went through something and came out the other side.
Off screen, they're still rare, just 1 in 8.
The stigma is that men don't necessarily have the caring role or the caring function, and that's for women.
Nurse Chris Jones says patients often assume he's the doctor.
I feel like I have to clarify that at least once or twice a week after I introduce myself with my title.
Professor Curry Bordelon is working to change all of this at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, where nearly 1 in 6 nursing students is now male, outpacing the national average. The school features male students in its marketing and sends nurses into high schools to recruit.
It's more and more representation within the academic setting, and when they see these faculty members in outreach programs, it allows them to say, if you choose this career, you will be very fulfilled in this career.
And the timing couldn't be better. Nearly 200,000 nursing jobs are expected to open up every year for the next decade. The paycheck doesn't hurt either. The median salary for registered nurses now tops $90,000 a year.
With nurses, obviously, job security's there, and we can go to bed knowing that we can wake up the next day to take really good care of patients. So it's reassuring, honestly.
And experts say more men in scrubs could mean better care, especially for male patients who are less likely to seek it out.
Our patients want to have providers that look like them, whether it be age, race, gender, and when they do, they tend to open up more.
Bordelon's message to men still on the fence?
Now more than ever, men are needed within nursing.
Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
Happening tonight, a fun opportunity to observe some nocturnal insects. Lincoln Parks and Rec is hosting a moth night starting at 8 o'clock at Cunningham Schoolhouse. This is a part of Nebraska's Moth Week. It is a free, family-friendly program included with a guided evening walk through the prairie. Participants will learn how light sources attract different species and their ecological roles. Let's get a final check of the weather at 4:30. Dom, take it away.
Yeah, for the rest of your Thursday evening here and into the overnight, we are looking at a fairly pleasant evening in terms of late July standards, upper 70s here. Get outside and enjoy that because we are going to warm up as we head through the next couple of days. A few passing clouds out there. Can't rule out maybe a sprinkle or two in far southeastern Nebraska the rest of the way too, but shouldn't be anything that ruins any outdoor plans by any means. Tonight, your lows down into the mid to upper 60s, where we could see then a bit of an east southeasterly breeze ushering in the potential for a few showers and a rumble of thunder as we get started very early on Friday as well. Those storm chances do linger here for the late morning hours, ultimately fizzling out close to lunchtime, and that leaves us then with highs tomorrow ranging from the lower to then middle 80s, which is still a good bit below average for this time of year. We usually see highs in the lower 90s for us in Lincoln, so a bit of a cooler day on Friday, but the 90s do return to the forecast on Saturday. The low to mid 90s here on Saturday, upper 90s then into the forecast by Sunday, and that's where that will stay as we head into the start of next week. Heat index also going to bring those feels like temperatures close to 100 degrees, if not then warmer than that as we head towards the start of next week as well. So enjoy the cooler temperatures while they last, warming up as we head into the weekend.
Thanks so much, Dom. And that will do it for Channel 8 News at 4:30. Rod Fowler's coming up next, along with our team of reporters at the top of the hour. Stick with us.
Come see us at our new South Point location.
Alaska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, experimental treatment.
Who knows when? He's, without a dad, too young.
Former Senator Ben Sasse talks about his battle with cancer, how well he says his family is holding up through this very difficult experience. Also tonight, community conversation.
Life is really hard right now for a lot of people.
What the Nebraska For Us group is telling people who are coming to them with financial struggles as everyday prices go up. Also tonight, trading blows.
They will pay a very heavy price for the things they're doing. They're already paying a very heavy price.
CENTCOM releasing video of their latest attack in Iran. What American target Iranian officials are claiming to have struck. And data decisions. How Hallam is reacting, leading up to a massive meeting on data centers tonight. And developing now, data center discussions on display from Washington, D.C. all the way back here at home to Hallam. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rod Fowler. The White House is figuring out how to protect households and small businesses from increased costs due to data centers. And the small town of Hallam is also gearing up for a meeting tonight that could shift the fate of one being built there. We're going to have team coverage on the data center movement tonight. Our Danielle Da Silva is in Hallam, getting a feel from people before tonight's meeting. But first, this issue, also a hot one in our nation's capital. Our Emma Norwood is breaking down what happened today. Emma.
Yes, good evening, Rod. It's called the Ratepayer Protection Pledge and is focusing on bringing electricity bills down for families and protecting households from costs that are tied to data centers, especially as more and more of those centers pop up all across the country. Now you can see here that 3,687 operational facilities are the ones that are spreading across the map. It's showing 857 more data centers that are either planned or approved across the U.S. Governor Jim Pillen, along with 23 other governors from across the country, joining President Trump to sign the pledge today. It's protecting against buildings just like the one that you'll see on your screen here, and is an expansion of the voluntary ratepayer protection pledge, which the White House proposed earlier this year. The president says this is a vital step in protecting Americans.
We're here today to continue the incredible progress we're making in communities nationwide to ensure that as new data centers go up, and they're going up all over, electricity bills for American families will actually come down. You know, you're going to be building your own data centers, and you're going to building your own electric plants.
Now, according to the White House, more than 200 organizations across 4 stakeholder groups have signed the pledge, including those governors, AI companies, utilities, and developers, ensuring that those companies will be covering all of the bill for data centers. The president also says electricity prices will drop because of this pledge, and there will be a surplus of power, 2 things that are heavy on the minds of voters. Reporting here in the studio, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
All right. Thank you, Emma. And we'll hear from Danielle Da Silva on a possible center going up in Hallam coming up during our 6 o'clock newscast. Now to the new strikes in the war in Iran, with both sides targeting more civilian infrastructure. Iran claiming to have hit U.S. military assets in Jordan and Kuwait. U.S. officials warning Iran will pay a big price if they don't make a deal. President Trump also threatening to bomb their infrastructure for every Iranian strike on a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. Human rights activists in Iran say there's been nearly 3,700 Iranian casualties since February.
They will pay a very heavy price for the things they're doing. They're already paying a very heavy price. They're probably not ready to do a deal yet, but they will be soon because the price they're paying is very high despite their tough talk.
As for the bridges, the president is talking about destroying, deliberately targeting civilian infrastructure like bridges is a potential war crime under international law unless used for military purposes. On Wall Street today, investors trying to stay optimistic, but U.S. stocks got hammered. One of the big reasons is oil prices surged above $100 a barrel. The Dow down 507 points, NASDAQ getting hit hard over big tech concerns, down 553, and the S&P down 90 points. As for gas prices here in Lincoln, we still haven't seen any places go over $4 a gallon, but by golly, we are about as close as you can get. Citizen journalist Brian sending in this video into our Now Local news app showing us $3.99 and 9/10 at a Phillips 66 station. If you scan the QR code on your screen, you can download the Now Local news app for free. You can stay up to date with gas price fluctuations in the capital city on the app just like we do. Now let's get a look at your first forecast on this Thursday evening. Citizen journalist Kevin sending this video into our Now Local news app of a mostly cloudy sky today. That's been helping us stay a little cooler than normal the past couple of days. Very comfortable out there right now as we take a live look through our AlloCam. As we all know, these kinds of temperatures can't last forever. When does it start feeling like July again? Well, let's ask our chief meteorologist, Rusty Dawkins. How about it, Rusty?
It's not too far away. Temperatures are really going to warm up fairly quickly. I think we have one more day, kind of a transition day, and then it gets hot again. But today, not bad. I mean, look at all of this, 70s and 80s, and very few 80s. 80 in Omaha, and then 83 all the way on the other side of the state in Ogallala, 80 in McCook, but everybody in between in the 70s. In fact, lower 70s in Grand Island and Hebron. Look at O'Neill in the upper 60s. Outside, it is cloudy, a little hazy too, with 76 degrees through 7 p.m., 73 degrees by 9, and some showers will try to move in overnight. Some areas may see some spotty heavy rain too. More on that in a second or two. But 6th and Perkins in Beatrice, Shones Roofing Camp, just a quiet Thursday afternoon out there with a temperature in the 70s. Still 77 in Lincoln, 71 in Hebron and Grand Island, but those 80s are still out there. McCook and into the Panhandle at Scotts Bluff at 86. Dew point a little higher. That will continue to increase as we head through the next few days, and that southeast wind bringing that moisture in out of the southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Hour by hour forecast temperatures dropping into the upper 60s by early tomorrow morning, and we do have some wind that will just be less than 10 miles per hour. But like I said, we are going to see a chance for rain overnight into early tomorrow morning. That forecast in a few minutes.
Thank you, Rusty. New tonight, a former staff member at a school in York County arrested for alleged sexual offenses involving a child. Authorities say the suspect, a 33-year-old former educator, was having inappropriate relations with a minor. This is the man accused, Nathaniel Acton. According to the York County Sheriff's Office, the child's family reported the alleged abuse on Sunday. Deputies arresting him and searching his home. They say they found material connecting him to child sexual abuse. Officials are not revealing which school he was with or when exactly the alleged crime happened. Stay with us. We have more heading your way after the break and a new batch of stories in our 6 o'clock newscast, including cars for caregivers, the newest free car giveaway for a caregiver happening. See the lucky winner's reaction at 6 o'clock. And coming up after the break, Sass Speaks. We get a snippet from former Senator Ben Sass's interview with CNN, what he says he hopes for his family as he continues battling pancreatic cancer. And don't forget, on July 30th, we're going to be hosting our 3rd annual school supply drive with Lincoln Public Schools. If you scan the QR code on your screen, you can find a list of the items that are needed the most, but any school supply donation would be greatly appreciated. It's going to be right here at our station, in our parking lot, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. We'll be right back after the break. New tonight, the group Nebraska for Us holding a community meeting as everyday costs go up. Nebraskans are paying more for several everyday items like gas, groceries, and health care. The state approved double-digit increases for several Affordable Care Act health insurance plans this year as well. Here's the meeting Nebraska for Us held today. This was in Meadowlark Coffee and Espresso. They talked to concerned people about money challenges and what they can do to support them through tough financial times. We went to the meeting today and spoke with the communication director of Nebraska for Us about what he's telling those concerned people facing hardships.
Big thing that we focus on as an organization is federal economic policy and how it affects people here at home when it comes to everything from SNAP cuts, Medicaid cuts, the cost of living, all sorts of other issues that are making it harder for people to be able to afford their everyday lives.
He says they hope to bring people together in these meetings so they can better understand how to help the community during these difficult times. Also tonight, 51 Commons is celebrating the ribbon cutting of their new activity center on North 52nd Street. It's going to provide lots of learning opportunities for kids. They have a maker space, a multimedia studio, a computer learning lab, and gyms and classrooms. They're thanking the Nebraska Department of Economic Development for providing $1 million to help bring this project to life. And some clips are surfacing from Ben Sass's interview with CNN, where the former senator of Nebraska is reflecting on his cancer diagnosis and treatment. He has learned a lot about pancreatic cancer during his time with it. Leading up to his diagnosis, pancreatic cancer was thought to be, in his words, undruggable. He talks about how the surfacing of a new drug was able to give him some hope, but also reflecting on how his family is coping with this whole experience.
My son just turned 15, and he seems to be doing great, but I feel like a 15-year-old boy could fake it even if he wasn't. But
sure, that's the whole gig.
Yeah. I feel heaviest for him. I don't doubt the providence of this, that it'll be fine, but I'm definitely sad that at, who knows when, he's without a dad too young.
Sobering words from a man who has spoken so bravely while faced with a terrible diagnosis. Nebraska is celebrating new access to the same cancer therapy that Ben Sass mentioned. They can now administer daraxonrasib, which has been shown to nearly double survival in advanced pancreatic cancer patients. Dr. Kelsey Clutie right here says she's very excited about the benefits this drug can provide for their patients. She says the results they've been seeing with it are the most encouraging they've seen in this disease in years. And speaking of the Nebraska Medical Center, they are being honored in Newsweek's list of America's best hospitals for specialized care. This award goes to the best hospitals in the U.S. across 7 different specialties. You can see those specialties right there on your screen. Right now, York County is releasing some stats about how well the Hope Crisis Center is doing there. The center helps victims of domestic violence and abuse. In 2025, they served 684 victims, 101 children, 70 minority adults, and provided 22 victims and 22 children with shelter. They also provided more than $20,000 in financial housing assistance and provided more than $36,000 for sheltering victims. Now the center is asking for more financial assistance this year so they can serve even more people in need.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
We'll start today's forecast with good news. It wasn't too hot today. Dew points were tolerable. A little bit of light rain fell in some spots, and there's still some out there. Cloudy skies, just by July standards, not too bad. Barry Lockham looking towards downtown Lincoln. It was an okay day. Now, a little bit of bad news. Drought monitor did not improve. In fact, it kind of got a little worse. Here's last week, and now here's this week. Notice the yellow's kind of expanding a little bit. That's abnormally dry, so not a moderate, severe, extreme, or exceptional, but those are still in place for much of the state. In fact, parts of the Panhandle still seeing that exceptional, as bad as it gets, drought. Hopefully we can get some rainfall in areas that really, really need it. Temperatures right now are in the 60s and 70s. Again, this is July. This is some of the hottest, this is the hottest time of year. This is almost like if in mid-January, we were seeing temperatures near 70. I mean, that's kind of how this is, with temperatures in the 60s and lower 70s. Just doesn't happen very often, but 77 degrees in the capital city, 75 in Nebraska City, Columbus at 75, lower 70s towards Grand Island, Aurora, Hastings, Kearney, York. Okay. Southeast wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. A couple of spot sprinkles. I think just 1 or 2 raindrops falling in southeast Lincoln into eastern Lancaster County. Gage County seeing a little bit. Johnson, Pawnee County, maybe 1 or 2 drops. One little line of storms trying to move through that area that really needs that precipitation. So through Sheridan County and down here towards Box Butte County, and then towards Scotts Bluff. So most of the state very quiet right now, but an interesting storm system is going to try to make its way into south central and southeast Nebraska overnight tonight, about right there. So by 3 a.m. we get kind of a push of some moisture, light to moderate rain in north central and northeast Nebraska, and then some heavy rain right here. Now if this happens, it could drop a lot of rain all at once. So 1 to 2 inches of rain, a possibility in this area. So there's a potential for maybe a little bit of flooding, flash flooding in south central and southeast Nebraska. This is between 3 and 6. It's still there. So while 1 to 2 inches of rain doesn't sound like a whole lot because we could use it, if it happens in that short amount of time, it may lead to some runoff and some areas that, if they're used to seeing flooding potential, that may happen very early Friday morning. I think by noon, probably by 9 o'clock in the morning, that should be it. And that should make the way for the sun to come back as we head through the second half of the day, and that's either good or bad. We'll see. Now, I think with the added cloud cover in eastern Nebraska, I don't think we're going to see temperatures rebound very quickly, but they will for the weekend. So here's your forecast. Temperatures tonight between 65 and 70 for most of us. I think 64, 65, 66 should just about do it. And then highs tomorrow. Notice cooler over here where the cloud cover hangs out for a little bit longer. Starting to get closer to 90 the further west you go. In fact, I think we will see some 90s in parts of western Nebraska. But tomorrow, one more day of cooler than average temperatures, but it is a transition day because look at what happens on Saturday. Between 90 and 95 degrees for almost everybody on Saturday. So it was fun while it lasted, right? 94 and then 98s on Sunday and Monday. Small chance for rain on Tuesday, just a small chance on Thursday. Those temperatures stick in the 90s through the middle of next week and then dropping back down into the 80s as we begin August.
All right, not too bad. Thank you, Rusty. Right now, a growing push to get more men to pursue a career long dominated by women. There's a growing demand for nurses across the country, and some men are missing out on that, but some nursing schools are trying to change it. Here's ABC's Hannah Batah.
You feel that, Earl? Feel what? That's a no. All right, now just apply the Dermabond.
On shows like The Pit and St. Denis Medical, male nurses are front and center.
You know, I actually have a few scars, and you know, they're kind of cool. It shows you went through something and came out the other side.
Off screen, they're still rare, just 1 in 8.
The stigma is that men don't necessarily have the caring role or the caring function, and that's for women.
Nurse Chris Jones says patients often assume he's the doctor.
I feel like I have to clarify that at least once or twice a week after I introduce myself with my title.
Professor Curry Bordelon is working to change all of this at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, where nearly 1 in 6 nursing students is now male, outpacing the national average. The school features male students in its marketing and sends nurses into high schools to recruit.
It's more and more representation within the academic setting. And when they see these faculty members in outreach programs, it allows them to say, if you choose this career, you will be very fulfilled in this career.
And the timing couldn't be better. Nearly 200,000 nursing jobs are expected to open up every year for the next decade. The paycheck doesn't hurt either. The median salary for registered nurses now tops $90,000 a year.
With nurses, obviously, job security's there. And we can go to bed knowing that we can wake up the next day to take really good care of patients. So it's reassuring, honestly.
And experts say more men in scrubs could mean better care, especially for male patients who are less likely to seek it out.
Our patients want to have providers that look like them, whether it be age, race, gender, and when they do, they tend to open up more.
Bordelon's message to men still on the fence?
Now more than ever, men are needed within nursing.
Hannah Batah, ABC News, New York.
New tonight, the National High School Rodeo Championships are wrapping up here in Lincoln, but not before the police department can get in on the fun. Sergeant Reynolds tried his hand at trick calf roping, and he did a pretty good job. They're comparing him to one of the competitors here. The police department says officers are working off duty at the rodeo through Saturday to make sure everyone stays safe as the rodeo comes to an end. Well, don't go anywhere. We have more for you after the break and a whole lot more coming up at 6 o'clock, including Pastor on Pedals. How far and how fast this local pastor biked to raise money for a good cause. We'll be right back. Well, whether you like it or not, Nebraska weather, as you all know, fluctuates quite a bit. Monday, we had 101. The ACs were going nonstop. And then, what, Rusty, last 3 days here, I've been driving to work with my window down. It's felt great. But we know changes are coming, right?
Yeah, this has been kind of an odd July. We'll probably look back on this and go, did that really happen? I mean, like you were saying, 101 the other day, temperatures in the 70s the last 2 days. We were 71 for a high yesterday. So that was a 30-degree swing from high temperatures from just a couple of days. Today, closer to 80. Tomorrow, also close to 80. And then we really start to move on up. So temperatures right now, comfortable. So if you have anything you need to do outside, if you need to mow in the yard, is probably the best thing right now because the rain chances out there early tomorrow morning. Temperatures start to creep up. The humidity starts to creep up. So today was probably a good day to do that. But 70s out there right now. Just a little bit of light rain in southeast Nebraska. And I mean, just spot sprinkle here and there. Kind of on the edges up north and then into the panhandle. Overall, though, these storms will start to move from west to east and then eventually some scattered showers very early Friday morning. Notice all of that rain right there in the eastern half of the state through 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, then lingering until 8 or 9, and then that's it. So precipitation goes bye-bye and the temperatures start to warm up. Notice the 90s further west, and then we cool back down into the 70s tomorrow night. Saturday morning, you're looking at around 5 a.m. in the 60s. Now, tomorrow morning, 60s for everybody, highs tomorrow, 80s for the eastern half of the state, 90s for the west, and then on Saturday, everybody warms up. We're looking at 90s and maybe some triple digits for the western half of the state. So things are going to get a lot warmer. Look at all of those 90s Saturday, Sunday, and into next week.
All right, thank you, Rusty, and thank you for joining us. World News is coming up next, and we'll see you right back here at 6 o'clock.
Come see us at our new South Point location.